yeah, yeah. I'm feeling your energy, and shorty, man, she really into me. I got lots of enemies, and they wanna act like they friends with me.
Yo, what's up guys, Spencer Premier, and I have got some leaked 2K20 news. I got all this news from a video by PowerDF, so if that's where you're wondering where the news is coming from, that's where it's coming from. I'm going to talk about everything in the news, all the badges, everything. There's so much to talk about, so I'm just going to get started right away. So the first thing the article says is, this post is going to be new information in character creation order rather than order. It appeared on her live stream because she ended up restarting her build a few times. First screen, it said on this screen she chose her position: point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, or center, and 2 new choices. So this is actually going to be surprising. We'll have to find out in the demo what this means. It could be like an extra position or something, but we'll find out when the demo comes out. Then it says Myplayer skill breakdown. This seems to be some sort of primarily archetype selection. She didn't really read most of this out loud, so it was sort of hard to tell. She mentioned that the selections had colors that correspond to the 4 attribute classes. Not sure if this is a real name, but I needed something to call them. These are blue for finishing, green for shooting, yellow for playmaking, and red for defense. This choice seemed to limit the cap limit. More on this later. For different stats, initially she selected one of these breakdowns and was limited to max of 51 in 3-point shooting. So that could be good. That could mean that if you make a defensive build, you will not have good shooting. I think that's how it should be. We'll see in the demo, but it's looking like that's what it's going to be, so that's good with that. Not much info on this, even though I thought it was super important. Sorry. And then physical profile, this section had 3 different choices: strong, even, and fast. These determine your character's speed, acceleration, vertical, and strength. There are possibly more stats affected, but those are all that she mentioned. She mentioned a few of the stats, but it was kind of hard to hear, and one of the ones I wrote down that don't really make any sense. I believe she said one choice had 82 speed, 62 strength, and 78 acceleration. A different one had 78 speed and 82 strength, and all these different combinations, she said. But we'll see what happens on that later. The next thing it said was, after this, your build is given a name that feel like names that NBA players would have in my career. At this point, I think she selected her height, weight, and wingspan. Everything seemed pretty similar to previous games, obviously. Only thing worth mentioning is that she said that dropping her height by 1 inch increased her speed by 3 points. So this might go by a point system this year. We'll see what happens, but that should work like that. Dropping your height should increase your speed, and if it's some kind of point system, then it might be 3 points. We'll see what happens with that. I think this screen also had her select a takeover, so that would be great if you could select your own takeover. That would be a huge in the game. So like, if you were a shooter, you could even just like select the shot creating takeover if that's what you wanted. That would be huge in the game. It seems like you'll have the choice between 2 or 3 different takeovers depending on which caps you have increased, so that's good. So if you were a sharpshooting post scorer, you could either choose sharpshooting or post scoring, not only post scoring, so that's pretty good. Sharpshooter has been renamed to spot up shooter, so they're just changing the name. That's not a big deal. Gives us a bonus to shooting from deep, especially catch and shoot, so we'll see what that is. And then here it said, from what we've seen, raising height will lower your cap for driving layups, driving dunks, mid-range, 3-pointers, free throws, pass accuracy, ball handling, perimeter D, lateral quickness, and steal. Will raise your cap for interior defense. So if you raise your height, it will raise your cap for interior defense, but height always has benefits not related to attributes in 2K. Obviously height has benefits. You can shoot over people and grab rebounds. Now moving on to the 4th screen, it says this screen was all about badges, so I'm just going to list the ones that she heard. It said clamp, stay in front of the ball handler. That would be big on defense. Off-ball pest, improves players' ability to bump and harass the offense off-ball, so that should be a good badge if you're a defender. Trapper, this makes life difficult for offensive players when trapped. So maybe like a double team or triple team, it makes it harder for them to pass out of it or something. And then tireless scorer, reduces stamina loss when exerting effort on defense. That makes sense. Clutch shooter, boosts shot accuracy in closeouts. I will definitely be trying to get that badge if that is a badge. And then there's Green Machine, which increases bonus given for consecutive excellent releases. Ice in My Veins increases free throw percentage in the critical time. That won't be that much needed unless it's for like Jordan Wright, because you don't even shoot free throws in Park. And then there's Steady Shooter, which reduces the penalty for contested shots and the bonus for open shots. And then there was Hot Zone Hunter, increases the shot percentage for shots taken in players' favorite spots. Then there was Pro Touch, which increases the bonus for having a good layup timing. Slippery Finisher, she didn't read the description for this one, so we'll see what that means. Maybe if like you get hit, you can finish better. And then there's Showtime, which boosts team takeover after completing a highlight play. And then there's Contact Finisher, reduces the penalty for contact dunks and layups in traffic, so that'll be like a slashing type of badge. And then there's Back Down Punisher, which increases the chance for a player to back down their opponent, so that'll be for like post scorers. And then there's Stop and Go, increases players' ability to start and stop with the ball. And then there's Tight Handles, which increases the ability to break down the defender, so that'll be like used against a lockdown for like a play sharp or any type of dribbling build. And then there's Dream Shake. I like that name. It raises the chance that a defender bites on a pump fake. Overall, the character creator seems insanely detailed, and I'm very glad we're getting the demo so far in advance so we can play around with this. So I totally agree with that. And I hope you enjoyed this video on all the leaks and everything about NBA 2K20 that we know so far. We'll have to find out in the demo, but I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm out.